Chelsea are the champions of Europe. And on reflection, Tuchel actually destroyed Pep Guardiola last night. Mentality, tactically, almost reduced this great Manchester City team to nothing. But we're here to let you have your say this morning, to phone into the Football Terrace and have your say. We could only take a certain amount of calls last night. We're going to take more of them today from you. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. Here we go. Morning and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Social media is buzzing. The parties that Chelsea fans were having last night across London were, as a rival, you don't really want to see it, but you know, it was nice to see people happy, especially after the year or so everybody has had. But we want to take your calls this morning. We want to hear from you this morning. We want to know how you're feeling about your team's triumph last night or your team's defeat if you're a City fan. The link is pinned to the live comment section if you want to phone up now and have your say. But I need to get this out. I need to say this morning. Thomas Tuchel destroyed Pep Guardiola last night. And I watched the game back. I finished streaming and I watched the game back. And I just thought to myself, we're all saying Pep blew it again. We're all saying Pep overthought. Pep got it wrong. You know, the selection was wrong. But I think we're really neglecting why. Firstly, a lot of people pointed out or made the point that Pep Guardiola disrespected Chelsea. Maybe looked at their attack and thought to himself, we got this. It's going to be easy. There's going to be no problems here for us. I actually think, I genuinely think, and I genuinely believe when I say this, due to the two victories for Chelsea in the FA Cup and League, Tuchel has got Pep Guardiola shook. It made him... Tuchel made Pep Guardiola yield on his preferred team selections, style of play to a degree, because you can't play the same style without that holding midfield player. He made him drop a DM for the first time all season. He made him play an informed Raheem Sterling for some very strange reason, who only got in behind once, and his touch last night was awful. He just made Pep Guardiola panic. And Guardiola, when he panics, Guardiola, when he's under genuine pressure, has a habit of folding at the highest level of the game. When the expectation is there, it doesn't work for him. There's a reason that he does it. You know, if he was up against a team tonight, if he'd have beaten Chelsea in the league game and in the FA Cup, he'd have played a normal team last night. He would have played a normal team. Whenever he underestimates a side or he's shook by them, Pep Guardiola's in trouble. And Thomas Tuchel deserves the credit for this. And I stand by what I say. Thomas Tuchel deserves the credit because he made Pep Guardiola do it. In the same way a couple of years ago, Jurgen Klopp put that pressure so intensely on Guardiola that he crumbled. And Guardiola's still a great manager, by the way. Doesn't mean he's a bad manager. But that's the chink within his armor. That's the issue that he has. And he's got a lot of soul searching to do this summer, because it is a very successful season for City. They're Premier League champions. They won the League Cup. It does again go to prove how hard a treble is, by the way. Very, very hard. Even a fake treble. But he has to do some soul searching. He has to work out how he's going to get the better of Chelsea next season. Liverpool are on the resurgence and they're on the way back. It's a big, big summer ahead now for Manchester City. Daniel here of the Super Chat says, Pep and bottling Europe go together like ham and cheese. Always overthinks things. Too clever for his own good. Put some respect on Tommy Tuchel, though. Listen, you've got to. And as I said, I put it down to the management he's up against. When Guardiola's done it against the Leons of this world, that for me is complacency. when he goes up against teams that are genuinely as good or better than him in the Champions League, go check his record. Go check Pep Guardiola's record when he plays a team that's better than him in the Champions League or as good as him in the Champions League. And most of us probably disrespected Chelsea somewhat in the build-up and made City the overwhelming favourites. And I agree with that from a bookie's point of view. But go back and watch my content from 2-3 months ago. Told you what Chelsea were going to do to Pep Guardiola. Could smell it a mile away. They have got his number. The way Chelsea play, it's Pep's worst nightmare. And you know it's Pep's worst nightmare because Pep in the past, he didn't do it last night, respect to him, but Pep in the past has cried and bleated and moaned about sort of low block teams. It took him 37 seconds to explain how you play. He can't break it. He can't beat you. Guardiola's sophisticated system cannot beat a compact team with quality players. Of course, if it's Burnley, you can break them down. Burnley wouldn't get a player into the Chelsea squad, let alone the first team. But the Tuchel Chelsea system is it's compact, but it's full of brilliance. And those two things combined are Guardiola's nightmare. Comment here says, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, a saying that we have here in Norway. Think it fits Pep Guardiola very well, been handed everything on a silver plate. Look, I think it's a fair check. There's a lot of pressure that comes with spending money. You have to win. You have to deliver. Otherwise, you get criticism. But I do think it's one of those things that will follow Pep Guardiola around. He won the Champions League twice with what some people say is the greatest ever league team. Ever. Domestic team ever. Club team ever. He's never been able to replicate that again. No matter what he's done domestically with City and Bayern Munich, he's never had the European success that he had elsewhere. You know, Fergie, massive European success at 2 different clubs. As an example, you know, you've got the Ancelottis that's done it at multiple clubs. And I think that's something that Pep Guardiola wants massively. Thank you to Graham Oliver for signing up as an Academy member of the Football Terrace. We're going to start going to your calls now. Remember, the link to call in is pinned comment to the tweet. I'll share it again here as well. First caller of the day, we're going to go to Mr. Anthony. How you doing, mate? Congratulations.
Yes, Terry. Yes. Again, 5 in the morning. Brilliant. I've been celebrating all day. It has been it was a very nervy night for me because I knew I was gonna wake up. I was gonna wake up to watch the final straight away.
Yeah.
It's incredible, Terry. Nine years. 9 years. Last time we won it, I was in England. I was a kid back then, and now it's just unreal. It's just unreal. And and could you imagine what, like, last time when I was on the stream, I said, like, I was so excited after we beat Real Madrid on the second leg. I said this team could do wonders. Could you imagine? Because this team is still pretty young. It's very, very young still. Could you
Yeah.
imagine what this team could go to do within the next 5 years or so? It's just surreal. For me personally, I have been up for every game, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and with everything that we had to go through, sacking Frank, losing to Arsenal, that was a hard pill to swallow. It was just a roller coaster of a season, and just to end it like this, the way we have, is I was on my knees at about 7:30 in the morning here in
Yeah, well, do you know what?
Australia.
Yeah, it must be. Do you know what must be beautiful about that is you then get the whole day to be awake to celebrate. Where like a lot of people are up all night and whatever. But
Oh,
now listen, it deserves so much credit. You said the average age. I just checked as you were talking there. Chelsea's average age of their team is 25.8 years, which makes them literally in the only Brighton, Arsenal, Wolves, United, Fulham, Villa this year are younger, but only by 0.8. And if we're being honest, Olivier Giroud leaving is gonna bring that age down, and Aspie's at the end.
exactly.
When you look at a lot of your core, it's 24 and under.
Yeah,
This is a team that, when you look at the Chelsea team that won it 9 years ago, that was a Chelsea team coming towards its end, where players had peaked, etc. And for me, when I look at that, this Chelsea team under Tuchel, I'm going to say it now with chest. I think this Chelsea team under Tuchel is going to win the Champions League again in the next 3 years.
I have that feeling as well. I just have this weird feeling. I have the same feeling like when Mourinho came to Chelsea for the second time, and the first year when we finished like second or third. I had a feeling that we are going to do something special the season afterwards. I have that same feeling right now that we are going to do something good in the league next year. And I have that same feeling that we are going to do this Champions League again in the coming 2 or 3 years again, because it's such a young team. Like, for example, you mentioned Giroud, you mentioned Aspilicueta. To be honest, Thiago Silva is 36. He won't be here with us for two seasons. I believe he would be here with us for one season. And what a way for that man to end his career. He has won everything possible, and the only thing that eluded him was the Champions League. And for him to just arrive in Chelsea just before he's gonna end his career in the next couple of years to win it. I just can't believe it. It's just I feel so happy for them. I feel happy for every single player who took a lot of stick for when Lampard got sacked. Every player was like blamed and saying it wasn't Frank's fault and all these types of things. The stick on Kai Havertz, his composure for a 22-year-old or 21-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, in front of goal in a Champions League final after the year he has been through, getting corona, recovering from it, a hamstring injury 2 weeks ago, the 75 million price tag. He just said it in his own words last night. He doesn't give a about any of that. He just won it. And as Pelequeta said it perfectly, he has a very, very strong mentality. And Mason Mount, the academy boys have done it, and that was one of the greatest criticisms we had. We don't have any academy players coming through, and there were four academy players in our squad who has a Champions League winning medal right now. Who would have thought Tammy Abraham with a Champions League winning medal?
Yeah, and
It's
that's it, bro. Listen, I hear the joy in your voice, my guy. Listen, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. Top man, thank you. And do you know what you said that it's about so true about the the situation with Kai Havertz is you can have these bad runs, you can have these bad moments, but you have time to turn them around. It has been confirmed today as well. We're updating the title of the video as we say this. Thomas Tuchel has signed and agreed a new deal with Chelsea that's going to take him through to 2023. I'm just going to update this here. 1 second. Signs new Chelsea contract. I'm just updating the title of the video here. That's done. We kind of knew that was going to come. It was fairly obvious, but congratulations to him. Giroud left Arsenal to win the Europa League and the Champions League. Yeah, that's peak. That's peak. That really is. Romel's now with us. Morning, mate. How you feeling?
I'm good, same old really. But I wanted to take on your point when you said Tuchel made Guardiola make them mistakes. I think you're kind of right, but it's also like I think Pep definitely got it wrong based on the fact of the DM, not necessarily the striker, but the DM not having him, because I believe the problems of his defeats to Chelsea previous were how good their three centre backs were pressing the striker at the time, which would have been De Bruyne, innit? So I don't know where Pep goes from that to removing Rodri and Fernandinho, and that's where the goal come from, because to give credit to Chelsea, the players were pulling on them for jokes. So Gundogan gets dragged out, and then Werner's good run, even though he was really bad yesterday, but his good run opens up space for Havertz, and Zinchenko can't catch him. But it's I think you said Pep has to do some soul searching.
Yeah,
I think it's similar for the City players, because they're like, it keeps happening. Like I said, I was watching the game yesterday with my bedroom, and I said to him, City can win this today, play based on player for player, innit? And And if you like me personally, I think that's true. But Chelsea as a whole squad and manager just showed pep up in them, man. So that's why I think they all have to do some what you call soul searching.
Yeah, it's all of them. You're absolutely right. It's a team effort here. It isn't just Pep Guardiola. There's this. I mean, but there was a stat I saw last night, and these stats mean something. We had Sonny that came on here a few weeks ago, and he said something like like history doesn't matter. Well, the last seven debutant finalists in the Champions League have all lost.
Yeah.
So to say that experience doesn't count, like people don't realize at clubs there's like hierarchies involved. Like you've got to be good enough to win it. Like that's just not just having a serial winner standing in the dressing room isn't going to make you win a game. You need the quality within your team to go out there and win it. But there was the know-how there last night. Man City also, they know the way Man City fold in the Champions League is all the proof I need that winning it is the ultimate desire of the club. I think a little bit like PSG. They're better run than PSG, but like PSG, winning leagues and domestic leagues, it doesn't mean anything so much. The owners want to be European champions. They want to be seen as the biggest and the best in the world. And there's a reason that they keep folding, they keep freezing, they keep looking like rabbits in headlights when it comes to these finals, bro. In terms of Thomas Tuchel signing his new, I want to touch on Tuchel signing his new deal today. What do you make of that?
I think it's deserved, you know. I think even if hypothetically they lost yesterday, I think it would have been deserved because, you know, from where they were to where he had got them to, they kind of stumbled over the top four, but he's deserved it. You know, it's one of them ones.
Absolutely. Listen, Romelu, thanks for coming on, having your say, mate. Really appreciate that, bro. Thank you. We've got some more super chats to do here. Please get your super chats into the Terrace. One here. Sorry, I already had that one. That's the one I already saw. Sorry. These things don't ever go in order. Rose says, storyline, the legend of Thiago Silva. Really great that he plays for Chelsea, a cult hero and legend of the game. Grey Wolf's Dinner says Pep had to change his tactics because last time we played City, we destroyed Fernandinho. Sterling created City's best chances. I don't get the Pep hate. Do you know what I'd say is this? I wouldn't. I think it's the fact. I know that you outplayed them. You did them last time, but they didn't have that anchor and they got overrun in midfield. And I think that Sterling, for me, he got in once, and that was because of a long ball. And after that happened, it didn't happen again. His touch was poor. At the end of the day, when you bring in a player like Sterling that's been out in the cold for a number of weeks, and you drop a DM, which you've not done all season, and it goes wrong, you're going to get criticism because City looks rudderless in many, many ways. Next on the show with Chelsea fan, what are you saying, buddy?
Well, I was wrong, even though I did say if we didn't take our chances, we probably wouldn't win. But that was a flipping immense performance from back to front. Everyone was brilliant. And, everyone talking about, Kante and Havertz and Reece James. I actually think Azpilicueta was our man of the match by far. He stopped balls coming across the byline. You remember at the end when Gundogan had that chance to basically tap it in, he's the one who cleared it. He led like a proper captain yesterday. Mm-hmm. And it's our second Champions League, so goodness, don't you dare come at us. Don't you dare tell us that you're a bigger club than us. You aren't even in the same stratosphere as us. Go get into the Champions League first and foremost. Then we can start to say, maybe you're in a little bit of a part. But yeah, it was brilliant. And you know what? You were right, Terry. Everything you said was absolutely spot on in terms of the whole pedigree thing, the whole idea of if we score first, it's probably going to be curtains. And it was curtains. We should have scored more. Werner had a chance. Pulisic had a chance. This could easily have been 3-4-0. But, it is what it is. I'm just very happy. Where we started with Frank Lampard, it was terrible. Where we were in mid-table and Tuchel's come in, took us to an FA Cup final where we unfortunately lost. And now we're the champions of Europe. Haaland pending.
Do you know what it is as well, bruv? On top of that, where Chelsea fans should be so encouraged and so excited about the future, is you lost the FA Cup final, but you bounced back impeccably. A lot of teams might have crumbled. You went and got yourself, you didn't just lose the FA Cup. Let's have this right, actually. You lost the FA Cup final. And then after that, you went and lost the final game of the season. And I mean that with respect. I'm not even trying to throw salt here. That happened. That was a real, genuine thing. But then you bounce back. You bounce back, and you produce a performance in that final It's one of the best that we've seen from a team, because you nullify, like, you were the underdogs and you nullified your opponents. And I just think that sort of just needs to be celebrated and well done, because the minerals there. And when you consider that Tuchel, okay, hasn't had yet he hasn't had a preseason. He hasn't bought a single player of his own yet as well. Like, just like deep that for a moment. Hasn't signed a single player that belongs to him as of yet. I just think it's absolutely sensational, and it should be a scary morning for rivals today. There's no doubt about it. And on Thomas Tuchel getting his new deal, give me your thoughts, mate.
It's brilliant, you know, everything. We've got a manager who's come in, and obviously, you know, we've had some great tacticians over the past, but in terms of managers who always say it straight, Thomas Tuchel's one of the very few open and honest ones who doesn't talk was in public and just, you know, he speaks his mind. You know, loads of managers like Conte would always be like, and all this rubbish. And that's probably the best bit. And hopefully now, Roman Abramovich has seen what he's done, and we go give him the players he wants, whichever ones he wants. I don't even care, because I trust this guy. And I genuinely think next season it's a 3 or 4, you know, horse race for the title. I think Man City, they're going to come back stronger. They're going to spend money. Pep's going to need a bit more to try to go for that Champions League and obviously try and retain the league title. I think Liverpool, coming off their good form, they're probably going to get some other ballers in. I think what we've shown is we are able to compete with the best and biggest clubs in Europe. And now we need to try to do that on a consistent basis in the league and in Europe next season again as well. And I know you might not want to hear this, but I think Man United are in for a shot at the title. I think them 4 teams, if the recruitment's spot on, I think you could see a 4-horse race for the title next season, and there'll probably be about, I don't know, 7 points separating first to fourth. But yeah, I'm really happy Tuchel's coming, you know, new contract. He revived us.
I bet you are, bro. Listen, my guy, thank you very much for coming on, having your say, Abs. Really appreciate that, brother. Thank you. And just we're going to go to Prime in a few moments, but just to reiterate this news today, Thomas Tuchel has signed a new deal at Chelsea. It will stay at the club until, I just want to get this information right in front of me. It will run until the summer of 2023. There is a 1-year option for Chelsea to extend it. So it's a 2-year extension from now, plus with a year on top. So it isn't a massive long-term deal, which I think is very, very safe in the modern day era, but it's reward, it's extra money, and thoroughly deserved in every single way, shape and form from Thomas Tuchel. And the Premier League need to be fearful of him. And I'm talking rivals here, because they're going to sign a striker. They're going to sign a deadly striker. They're going to improve this squad further. You're even going to see the team evolve how they play over time as well. That should be a sobering thought for everyone. Everyone who's not a Chelsea fan, that should be a sobering thought. By the way, smash that like button for us this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Next up on the show, Latimer's Prime is here. Morning, mate. How you doing?
Morning, everyone. Morning, Chelsea fans. Champions of Europe.
How are you feeling this morning?
My voice is gone, as you guys can tell. I drank a bit last night. Last night was one of the best. Last night was the best day of my life, or best night of my life, I should say. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Amazing. Our first Champions League win, I should say, that was the end of an era for the likes of Drogba and Terry and everyone else. This Champions League, when we could build our next great era for Chelsea, and Tuchel, he could end up being, if we build correctly, he could end up being our greatest ever manager.
I don't think that's a wild take. I don't know what that. I'll get some feedback from your end. I don't. What do you make of the news of the new contract this morning?
Good, well deserved. I'm happy. Obviously, it's probably been working in the background for the past few weeks, few months. It was a thing when he first signed, that he was going to get a new contract so long as he reached his objectives, which he did. But yeah, let's go into the summer. We know what we need. We need, apparently the striker is the priority signing, which is great. But if we can get another DM, we can get a top quality centre back, because I'm still skeptical about Christensen and Rudiger. Maybe. I don't know. Do we attempt to snag Sancho? I don't know. Do we even need him? I don't know. But listen, whatever Tuchel, I wonder if it's not a player that I'm all too great happy about or I rate. I don't care. Chelsea fans, all your little agendas about you rate Tammy, you don't. You rate Jorginho, you don't. You know, Timo Werner's always offside or whatever. All these agendas we have, it dies. It died last night because this guy Thomas Tuchel, we need to trust and believe in him. His record, his in-game management, it's one of the best. And
I hear you, bro. Look, we're really struggling to hear you.
Build something
Bro, we're struggling to hear you. Your Wi-Fi keeps bugging in and out. So I'm struggling to hear you, bro. Listen, thanks for calling in, Prime. Really appreciate it, mate. Top man. Thank you. Hit that like and that share button, people. Try to connect with good Wi-Fi, people, and don't use any kind of Bluetooth device to speak to us on, because it always cuts out on StreamYard. It's terrible. But Thomas Tuchel, new deal in the bag. As we said at the top of the video, destroyed Pep Guardiola last night, made him rethink, made him readjust, absolutely ruined him. We're going to take some more calls. We're doing quick fire calls here. This channel is toxic to Man City fans. Not really, bro. Because if you'd have won last night, we'd have been celebrating with you as well. But Guardiola got it wrong. There's no doubt about it, my guy. You know, this channel was the channel that for 2 or 3 years when you were killing it was debating and talking and praising, you know, that you're on the cusp of becoming one of the greatest teams ever in English football history. We're not toxic. We're just very, very fair. And we're not going to sort of, it was a great journey for yourselves, but with what you spend, with the quality of your squad, you've got the best manager in the world since Fergie. You should be demanding your team win these trophies. I think it's very unfair to call us toxic for saying things as they are. Next on the show, CFC Chats is here. Morning, mate. What you saying?
Hey, man. G'day, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. You know, I'm just, you know, excited. I'm so proud of the team. Every Chelsea fan will be proud of the team. And what more could we honestly ask for? Honestly, fantastic win, fantastic effort. You know, even if they lost, I still would have been just so proud of the boys. I'm just still struggling just to speak. I'm just so excited. And obviously about the Tuchel extension signing, very proud of that. I'm so happy about that. As I think Prime said before, I think that this was in the making, and because of his objectives, he achieved them. He'll get the contract and he gets the extension. And I guess every Chelsea fan would be very proud to hear that. So that's my thoughts on that. It's just amazing day, honestly, man. Amazing day. And every Chelsea fan will be having an amazing day today.
Yeah, I bet you will be, mate. Listen, thank you for calling in and having your say. Really appreciate that, Matthew. Top man. Next up, Gabby is with us. Gabby's a Chelsea fan. What you saying, buddy?
Yeah, I'm totally excited. Like, I'm so excited. I saw this coming. I followed Pep for ages. The man always bottles it when it matters. When it matters, too much thinking, too much. I think Tuchel really got into Pep's mind, because this is not Pep. This is not Pep. Pep was rattled before the match. I mean, Tuchel used this confidence and cool. He took this like it was everyday training. He was so relaxed, and that was very important. But you could sense the tension in Man City. You could sense the tension. The players came like it was so tense, and it was an amazing final. I think it was won on tactical. It was won on tactical discipline and tactical battle, and I really have to give it up to Tuchel. And I think Guardiola has a lot of questions, and that was from the team sheet. You knew it. From the team sheet, you knew it. There was something wrong. Keep these guys in their position. Keep these guys in there. Keep it simple. The basic things in winning is simplicity. Keep it simple. And that was all what we needed. It was a great final.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you for calling in, Gabby, and having your say. Top man. He's the smile on his face there. Next up, I want to say the name right. I think it's Ishan on the line. What you saying, buddy?
Hey, Terry. How are you doing? Absolutely buzzing. Two-time champs. And yeah, absolutely buzzing. What a performance. What a day. What a day for Chelsea fans.
Absolutely. And you wake up this morning, or maybe, I don't know where you are in the world, maybe it's still your evening, you've been up all day, but Thomas Tuchel now gets a new deal. You're champions of Europe. You're lining up a massive signing for a new number 9 this summer. Things must feel so bright and positive at Chelsea right now.
Yeah, listen, I'm in India, first of all, and I had to wake up all night. I slept 8 a.m. in the morning. It was a long night. It was a lovely night. Yes, and Thomas Tuchel, the first time he spoke to Roman Abramovich was last night after winning the Champions League. So, and I think so that's pretty much there that he got his contract, and today was just the formality. I think so he got the contract ready maybe when we got through to the top 4, and today was just the formality. Thomas Tuchel deserves it. I mean, listen, that's the difference between 2012 and 2021. In 2012, we did not have a good manager. The manager was not experienced, but we had that experienced squad. We had that perfect leadership qualities. Every individual in that squad were special and were experienced in 2012. But in 2021, we had a new squad. We had a new signings, 7 or 8 signings. There were many boys from the academy, 6 to 7 boys from the academy. Yes, we had some players before, but they never played in the Champions League final. It was the Thomas Tuchel element that won us this Champions League. Every match that he played, it was tactically spot on. And what a way to end the final. What a way to end the season.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Bro, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the party. Enjoy the celebrations. Well done, you, sir. Thank you. There's a super chat I wanted to read here. It says, if Tuchel mucks around next year, he isn't immune from the sack. And Roman will drop 100 mil in the summer. This ownership only cares about gold. Do you know what, bro? I said this on the stream last night, and I meant it. That's what I'm jealous about. Not Chelsea's money, not Chelsea's manager, not their players. It's the fact their owner only wants to win. The only currency that Roman Abramovich deals in relation to football is trophies, titles, and gold medals. He doesn't care about anything else. I actually don't think Roman, he'll ask for updates on how the club's going, but he employs commercial people to handle that. He employs people, he delegates all the roles and responsibilities needed at a club to people. Yep, you need to keep bringing the money in. You need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing that. But our aim for all of that and all these little plates that are spinning is to be Premier League and European champions. And if we're not angling towards it, I don't care about anything else. He doesn't sit in his yacht. He doesn't sit in one of his many mansions or penthouse suites celebrating a noodle deal, a new shirt sponsor deal, a new manufacturer deal, a new car deal. When it comes to Chelsea, he ain't celebrating any of that. He only celebrates when Chelsea win. And until your club's ownership is like that, you are never going to punch pound for pound with these people. Especially once your once great selves have been eroded by the ownership. Arsenal, Man United, we ain't touching them. Spurs, you ain't touching them because your ownership don't care about winning as much as Roman. Even to a degree, the Sheikh. Even to a degree, the Sheikh. They don't care as much as that either. He wants to win it still. We banter them all they want. I'd still swap ownerships with Man City tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? 110%. That super chat is beyond spot on. It's the most accurate super chat we've had in a while on the Terrace. Grey Wolf's dinner says, I've never said this, but he's earned it now. And this is a one-off. Sorry. Never said this. I've never said this, but he's earned it now and is one of our best ever buys. Azpilicueta is our captain, leader, legend. That is a big statement to be made there by yourself, sir. And listen, I think Azpilicueta is such an underrated football player. A bit like I put him in that same category as Aguero's and David Silva's. He's an under-respected and an underappreciated Premier League legend. Next on the show, we've got Jules. Jules is a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, mate?
I'm buzzing, mate. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely loving what's happening right now. I mean, would you imagine this about 2 years ago? We were supposed to be going into this uncertain period with a major transfer ban and we couldn't do anything and our players were aging and Eden Hazard was supposed to be leaving. And 2 years later, we are Champions League winners. I mean, it's just unimaginable. What one major decision can make, what difference one major decision can make, right? I mean, we have a ruthless owner who is not afraid to pull the trigger when he has to, probably because he is actually a fan. See, that's the difference between him and all those other owners in the other clubs. Abramovich, when he was living in England, was almost at every home game. And you can see him actually celebrating when we win. And he used to also watch the under-17s and under-20s and all that. So he is actually in touch with the team, and he wants to win. And I think that's the main difference here.
Do you know what's right about that? Interesting. I think you're right about everything you've said.
Yeah.
There's a little piece of the jigsaw which is being missed out. I heard a lot of people say yesterday, basically like, screw processes. Who needs processes? And I thought, I get your point, but you're missing something. Chelsea started this process after Conte left. So the appointment of Marina, the recruitment process of these young players they were scouting, the academy of players that they wanted to bring in, they started with Maurizio, with Sarri as the man to take it forward, and it didn't work. So they brought Lampard. They didn't make it work with Lampard, so they went on to Tuchel. But the plan and the process behind the scenes remained the same. So this is where I'm not taking anything away from Tuchel. I'm praising Chelsea Football Club here. There is a process. There was a process, and it was to create better football, to buy some really talented young players from around the world, to interject and integrate some of our young talented players. Reece James last night, by the way, out of this world. Mason Mount. I already apologized about 5-6 months ago. I never thought Mason Mount would be good enough when I first started seeing him play.
Not just you. I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good.
Yeah, he's gone on to levels I didn't expect. But this point that Chelsea didn't have a process, and it's just that there is this weird notion. And do you know what? It's
always had a process. Here's the thing. The moment Abramovich came in, you remember what Peter Kenyon said? He said, we want to make this into a one-horse race. He literally said it. And it's always been something that is always, how do you call it? Updated. It's sort of like you have your Microsoft system. It's always getting updated from time to time. Chelsea always wants to win, right? And that's the process. The process is one manager with his ideas.
The end goal is to win, as you say. But the point is, I think it's really disrespectful to Chelsea Football Club to say we did this because we sacked Lampard and appointed Tuchel. That's part of it. But you were also on this journey since Conte. Since Conte was sacked and you went to Maurizio Sarri, this process, everything behind the scenes had its little cheeks and changes and everything else, and it's paid dividends. And what the lesson here is for football fans and failing clubs is you can change. If you're run well, you can change managers, but you can keep steering in the same direction. Where it would have gone wrong for Chelsea, if you'd have gone from Sarri to Lampard, and then from that, you would have gone back to a Jose-esque manager who didn't like half your squad, you wouldn't be winning this right now. It's about continuing the process that the club has in place. Bro, great call, Jules. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate that, my guy. Thank you. Edward says, just got to mention how good the ref was last night. English refs could learn a lot from how to manage a big game. Yeah, I did think he had a good game. You know how you know he had a good game? Because no one's talking about anything to do with the game. That's how you always kind of know. Yeah, and as I say, Terry's Twisty said Terry buying success is not a process. Well, that's nonsense. Man United have spent loads. That's one of the bugbears I have. Man United have spent a lot of money since Fergie, £9 billion. And what success have we had? Because there's no process and there's no control. There's no checks and balances when it comes to how we're operating. There's been no direction for a long time. I think it's disrespectful to Chelsea Football Club to just simply point down to sacking Lampard and appointing Tuchel is the reason you won this. It's part of it and a big part of it because Tuchel's a world-class manager. But everything that's been going on since Conte to get the club to this point, and the fact that Chelsea did the most important thing, they did not deviate from that plan of action post Antonio Conte. They might have changed some backroom staff, changed some players, changed manager, but the journey, we're going to the same place. You're either with us or you're off the boat. We're going on a voyage. You're either on the boat with us or you can come on and lead the boat, but that's our destination. You're not taking us somewhere else. And this is the route we're going in. We just need you to lead us there. That is, I don't want to disrespect Chelsea by not celebrating that because they're a well-run football club and that shouldn't at any point be denounced. And I get in celebration, in kind of moments of ecstasy, it's to see sacking the manager works. Part of it is that, but it's deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. Winter Surfer Andrew's here with us. What's you saying, bro?
You can probably tell, Terry, I haven't had much sleep. My voice is going. I don't know. I'm still like pinching myself because of how the season's turned out. Because this guy's come in literally over 5 months. He's won a European Cup. And yesterday, I've just watched the start of your video because I missed it, so I just woke up. I think you're absolutely correct. I think last night, everyone was on about how Pep had messed up. But I think Thomas Tuchel has done a number on Pep now 3 times. And I've never seen a manager have such an effect on Pep Guardiola. Do you know, like they kept saying for years that Jurgen Klopp had a big effect on Guardiola?
Yeah.
But that took years. Tuchel's done this in 7 weeks. He's done it in 7 weeks. We destroyed their quad, and we destroyed their whatever treble you want to call it. But yesterday, I thought Pep was disrespectful not playing a DM at all, and I thought he played right into Tuchel's hands because the midfielder Jorginho and Kante didn't have any opposition at all, and Kante was all over that pitch yesterday. He destroyed City yesterday. He destroyed their attack, and he stopped them doing anything. And Thomas Tuchel played everything brilliantly. I mean, Terry, Mendy didn't have a save to make. That must have been one of Edouard Mendy's easiest games this season, because the second half he might as well have been smoking a cigar because they weren't getting anywhere near him.
Yeah,
they didn't make him make a save.
Absolutely.
We had the better chance in the second half as well. They had all the possession, but we had the better chance in the second half.
They did. They just couldn't break you. You did to them what Leicester did to you.
Yeah.
And I said in the build up to the game, Pep will only win tonight if he changes his style. And I didn't mean, and I'm not saying about he should have kept a holding midfielder in. He should have been less aggressive. He should have tried to entice you out. But Guardiola, generally speaking, he has one way to play, and when it doesn't work, there's no plan B for him. And that's where I think Tuchel, next season with the right signings, is going to outdo Klopp and he's going to outdo Pep. Because the one thing Tuchel appears to have, because he's playing different football at Chelsea to what he was doing at PSG, it's horses for courses with him. And I think a world-class manager that's adaptable will supersede world-class managers that are famed for playing one particular way. Because when it starts going wrong, you can change it mid-season. Just quickly, final word from yourself. We're right near the end of the stream. How happy are you that Tuchel's got this new deal?
Terry, it's 5 months work and he's won a European Cup. I mean, imagine when he's got a whole summer and he's got his players in and he's already doing it to this team. This team is so young and they've already won a European Cup. Think of the mentality now. What I want this team to do now is, I've said this last week, I think this season, this team has thrived being the underdogs, and it was shown yesterday. Now they have to thrive being they have to play well now being favourites for games, like in the FA Cup, and turn those into wins. If he does that and we get a striker in, we're going to destroy teams next year. We're going to destroy teams. That's what we should be doing this year.
And I hear you next year. Listen, my guy, thanks for coming on the stream and having your say. Winter Surfer means a great deal. Top man. Thank you. Final caller, Liverpool fan Tom Little's here. What are you saying, mate?
Congratulations, Chelsea. You know, I said they'd win yesterday. I thought it'd be on penalties, but they absolutely murdered them for them 90 minutes. But we do need to talk about Pep Guardiola and why every time the pressure's on Manchester City and him at the minute on the European stage, he goes crazy with his tactics. And it doesn't work. He used to do it at Bayern. He used to do it at Barca. But the only place it ever worked was Barcelona because he was blessed with Lionel Messi. That was why he got away with it. It doesn't work now that you haven't got this footballer who can get you 2 goals when he's playing awful. I don't get why, after how many times of doing this and it not working, he still persists. It's a definition of insanity. And they won't win a Champions League while he keeps doing that.
Do you know what's interesting about it? And Pep's such a hard manager to criticize because of what he's achieved. It's very difficult. But you're right. The one thing about great people in any industry is there is an element of pig-headedness and arrogance about them, in the sense of, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it my way to shut you all up. And I feel like Pep almost does these things now to say, I'm going to win it, but I'm going to win it in my own image. I'm going to win it by thinking outside the box. It's almost like it's like he's trying, because if he'd have won last night 2-0 and been brilliant, it would have been something that elevates his legacy, because oh my God, he dropped his DM and he brought in Sterling, who was the man of the match. Do you get what I almost feel like that
headlines would have been about him.
Yeah, it is. It's that, because he wants it to be the Pep show as opposed to the Man City show. And I think it's in my mind. I actually feel treacherous saying it as a football fan, because Guardiola has done great things. But there we go. Listen, Tom, I've got to do a couple of quick calls before I leave, because I've actually got to be meant to be leaving my house in 10 minutes, and that ain't happening. I'm in trouble. So, top man, thanks for coming on, having your say. Jem's here with us, looking a bit worse for wear. How's it going, bro?
I can't talk. Honestly, I've lost my voice, Terry. It's so bad right now, literally. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm still
recovering. What's your feeling this morning, waking up to the news that Tuchel signed the new deal?
Yeah, great. He deserves it for what he's done, what he's achieved in such a short space of time at our football club. You know, it's great to see that the club's backing him on it. Now he gets the summer to decide the players that he wants to bring in, a potential pre-season as well. So there's a lot he's, to look forward to at Chelsea at the moment. And if we're going to continue playing in the same vein as we played in that Champions League final, then it's all looking good. All looks positive.
Absolutely, mate. It really does. And yeah, obviously I saw you guys partying hard last night. I don't know. I was about to go to bed at about 2 a.m. and there I saw you still posting videos with people on top of bus shelters, and you've obviously had a lot of stick on socials from Gooners today for your video.
Yeah. I know. But at the end of the day, it's all banter, isn't it? We were next to, a lot of the Gooners were saying to me, oh, why did you travel all the way down to the stadium? But I was next to the stadium, I was in a pub next to it. So it had to be done, at the end of the day. And I'm sure they'll take it on the chin. It's all a laugh. And
well, I've said this, football without rivalry, I wouldn't be, honestly, if tomorrow a magic wand was waved and all the emotion and feeling around rivalry disappeared, I'd stop watching football. I want to win things to win. And secondary, I want to rub it in all your faces. That's part of it. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about, mate. It really is. Bro, I've got to shoot, though, because I'm right near the end of the stream, my guy. Thanks for calling in and having your say. Top, man. Finally, KJ's here. Final word from KJ. What you saying, bro?
I'm sad, man. Watching Chelsea do that last night, man. It was, again, another sobering moment to where my football club is at. And, yeah, I just came on to say that a lot of people saying about, if sacking the manager, and look, they won a CL. And that is true, they did do that, but look at the structure behind them. Look at the summer they had in the first place. Chelsea Football Club, they're great at doing this. They have the structure to do that. People say, why should United follow their DNA? Because look at Chelsea. Well, that's Chelsea's DNA. They followed their DNA. They believed in their DNA, and they've got the rewards of it. So yeah, just Chelsea are built differently in that kind of sense, and I just hope our teams around them take note on how to actually run a football club.
Mate, absolutely. And listen, I didn't challenge anyone last night because they were in ecstasy, and I'm not even trying to challenge it. I'm trying to praise their overall club. This notion that just sacking Lampard and bringing in Tuchel is the reason they won it's only partly true. Tuchel's a world-class manager, but they had to, all the changes that have been going on for the last 3 or 4 years, squad building, youth development, etc., it's all played a part, and it's because they stayed on that journey. And that's the key take from here. I get people's point, and I agree. We lose a final and we give our manager a new deal. They win a final, their manager gets a new deal. That should again. I'm not focusing on Tuchel and Ollie in that situation. I'm looking at who is running the club. That's where the attention should be, because if that area is correct, the good things happen on the outside anyway. Do you know what I mean, bro? It's one of them things. If you go gym and you eat good, you generally look good. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to take care of the inside for the outside to look good in so many ways. Do you know what I mean? And we're not very good on the inside. But bro, I've got a chip. Thank you for coming on, having your say. Everybody that's tuned in. A massive thank you to each and every single one of you. We're back later this evening with more content from the Football Terrace. By the way, we went past 191,000 subs. So thank you. And